Poboy Special here, and just got a phone call from Chris. Said he got a new speed loader in for a 9mm and 40 caliber. Anxious to check it out, so come along the journey with me. We're gonna go check it out and see what it's all about and see if it's worth it. Coming right up. All right, you will notice that the one that we have chosen, it says right up here in the corner, 9mm and 40 caliber. This is obviously the pistol round version. They do make a rifle round for a 5.56 223, but the reason that we chose this one is for this. Yes, this is a Glock. And you know, if you've ever owned a Glock or worked with a Glock, that when you hand feed those rounds through a Glock magazine, it is brutal. It hurts. Especially if the magazines are new and you have a 15-round magazine, you really have to press in hard and it hurts your thumb on that 15th round. So, we're going to test this out and see if it really makes a lot of difference and if it can really save your thumbs like it advertises on the back. Coming right up. Some very quick features before we get to opening it and testing it. Right here you can see where I'm pointing, it says lifetime warranty on the package. Awesome. It also says it does not damage the feed lips on your magazine, which is awesome. And it says it saves time and energy. That's what we're going to find out. So I just wanted to point those things out before we open it and get to it. All right, so let's open it up and take a look at it. Yes, love that. And boy, does this feel like Christmas time. Love getting presents at Christmas time. Oh, that is some really tough plastic. I'm telling you what. Let me get underneath here. And there we go. Alright. So there we go. We got the cover off. And there are two pieces. And we'll explain all this here in just a minute, but this is how it comes straight out of the package. Alright, the very first thing is to remove this part here. The top part that comes in, you just remove it, comes straight out, it rides on the rail. You'll see this part right here that sticks below. That's what actually feeds the round into the magazine. So we'll remove it first, and there's only one way it'll go on and off, so you don't have to worry about getting it wrong. Next, you take your magazine and make sure the rounds are pointing that way, and you'll feed it into right here where this hole is. So where the bullet would be facing, that's where that hole is, and make sure that you take this magazine and insert it, and make sure you put a little bit of English on it and force it just a little bit, because you want it to seat completely up in the top there. If it's not seated completely, it's not going to work properly. So make sure that magazine is completely pushed up and seated in the correct position. Then we're ready to scoop up the rounds, and here's what it advertised. What we've done here on the table is we've taken our rounds out of the box and set them on top of the box. And there's a reason for that, because if you will notice, when we're ready to take this rail here and scoop up the rounds, this bottom lip here, if we have it off the box, gets in the way of us scooping the rounds. So if you set it on top of the box like this, you've got plenty of maneuverability room where you can scoop up the rounds. And that's exactly what this does. You take this rail here, you slide it over top of the rounds, and this is 40 caliber, by the way. You slide it on top of the rounds like this, and it automatically picks them up because the rim sets in this rail, and look at that, picks them right up by the rim. Now you'll notice that there's one left. The 40 caliber, I don't know if I'm doing it incorrectly or don't have enough practice, but there'll be one round left out of the 10 round row. And what you'll probably have to do is finagle it with your finger or something to complete that 10 rounds right there. Next thing you do is take the part that we took off, make sure that this part that's sticking out goes right where the bullets are, and line it up. You'll press it to your chest here and put it one hand on this side, one hand on this side, put it to your chest, pull towards you really hard and quick. Woohoo! And you have just loaded 10 rounds into your magazine just like that. Hey, we just came up with a solution for this, a fix if you will. If you turn the box from this way to this way, you make 2 passes. So now you're going this way and get them 5 rounds at a time. So you scoop up 5 rounds and then scoop up 5 rounds. Now you've got all 10. And now you just put this on here like this, put it up to your chest, and you've just loaded all 10 rounds. Now yes, you have to make 2 passes, but hey, it works. Now to top off this magazine, since it holds 13, all you gotta do is scoop up 3 here, just like that. 1, 2, 3. Put this back in, push it really hard like we showed you, and there you go. Full magazine without killing my thumbs. Alright, so just how fast can we load a magazine using this system? Let's test it out and try it for the very first time. Go. 5 rounds, 10 rounds, and in, and 13 rounds, in, stop. 11.7 seconds. Alright, so I just wanted to show you a slight comparison here. This system here is by Butler Creek. And what you have to do is when you insert the magazine into it, you have to squeeze it and hand feed the round one at a time. Let it go, hand feed it in, let it go. And like I said, it's one at a time. Now, what advantage would this have over this system? Well, this system obviously will take a row of 10 or 9 or 5, but it has to be in the box all in a row. So if you've got a can of loose ammo and you have to do them one at a time, then this might be a viable option for you from Butler Creek. So we're going to use this one and time it like we did that one and see what kind of time saving, if not comparison. Let's get to it. Thirteen rounds in 30.4 seconds. 30.4, 13 rounds. All right, so next is the old-fashioned way, by hand. Let's load the same 13 rounds by hand, time it, see what we get. And ready, set, 24.5. So what are the takeaways from this and what have we learned? Actually, several things. This has some very, very good advantages in a couple of different ways. Number one, most importantly, it really does save your thumbs. The next day, if you're at the range shooting multiple rounds and you've loaded your magazine by hand, the next day your thumb really hurts. Yes, this saves that. Your thumbs will not hurt at all. So one good thing is it saves your thumbs just as advertised. Another good thing, it does save time on reloading magazines. Now, let's say you have 3, 5, 7 magazines and you're at the range, and let's say you have multiple people at the range and you want to load those magazines. Obviously, if it takes about 12 seconds to load each magazine, you're saving a bunch of time in loading magazines and getting you and multiple people prepared to get back into shooting. And when you save that much more time, you have that much more time to shoot and to be trained or to train somebody while they're shooting. So saving time on loading actually gives you more time for shooting and teaching and getting taught. So what are my final thoughts on this? Very innovative. It works very well. I loved it because it saves my thumbs. It actually saves time. We've shown that. And if I practice a little bit more and more, I bet I can get that time down a little bit more. So a little bit more practice and it'll save you a little bit more time. It's durable. It does everything it advertises. It works for 40 caliber and 9mm. We tested it on the 9mm off camera, so yes, it does work for 9mm. Like I said, the only drawback is if it's loose ammo, you're going to have to load it one by one. But if it's in the box, if you have the ammo in the box, man, it saves you a whole lot of time. And it is a very good speed loader. And I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a design like this. So kudos, and we really enjoyed doing this and talking about this, and I hope you have too. And if you really like this, go ahead and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Poboy Special channel, because you saw it here on the Poboy Special channel.
These hands use palm olive.
5 rounds. Would help if I got them on. Dang it! What the heck is wrong with me?
The pressure's on, baby.
And 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Dang it. Bloopers! Bloopers!